Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel for another episode in my dollar store makeover series where I'll be giving a makeover to an item from the dollar store. And if you're here with me last week, you probably are familiar with this thing. The packaging says it's layer art. I'm not sure if that's what it's actually called. I'm actually not sure what this specific art piece is called. I'm not too overly familiar with it, but last week I did paint one of these DIY kits, and today I'm going to be doing another one. It's basically the same thing. It has the three panels, the back one being just like solid, and then the first two having like intricate designs, and then the base plate. As you can see, this one is a bit different. It's still water-esque, water-themed, but starting off with a quick coat of gesso over all of the pieces just to help the paint not, I guess, like seep too much into the wood. And so just to be a nice base coat, really. And I'm diving right in with my acrylic paint. This specific piece is like a swan, I believe, in a lake or some type of body of water with a bunch of greenery in the front and a mountain all the way in the back. And I will say, I actually struggled a lot more on this piece, coming up with, not really coming up with the design, more so just mixing the right colors. For the piece all the way in the back, the solid one, I painted the sky in this really pretty blue, but then the water I did in a very dark blue, almost gray color. And then for the mountains, I did almost the exact same gray, just slightly lighter. And here you can see I'm already starting to second guess my colors, but I decided to ignore it since it wasn't fully dry. I wanted to see how the colors would dry in hopes that maybe it wouldn't be too much of an issue. So I moved on to the front plates. I keep calling these plates, but I'm not really sure what else I'm supposed to call them or what else they're supposed to be. And so I just, kept going on and painting what I thought would be the best choice for this. I've never really painted a lake scene like this, or river or ocean. Again, I'm not really sure what body of water this is specifically supposed to be. But the front plate had basically all just like greenery and plants and things, so this one turned out to be mostly just green. I keep finding myself wanting to do lots of detail work when I'm painting this, but then when I put all the pieces together, I find that I'm usually happier that I didn't do any detail work, or at least not too much detail work, because when you look at each piece individually, they seem kind of plain and simple at times, but when you put them all together, some of the details really get lost, and especially for the middle piece and the back piece. Also, I struggled a lot painting through all these crevices. I thought the last one had a lot of crevices, but this one for some reason felt so much worse. And because I still wasn't fully convinced that I mixed up the wrong color for the water, I did a base coat on everything. Here you can see this is after my first coat, once everything was dry, where I basically decided I didn't like the color that I chose for the water. It was just too dark for water. Um, it kind of looked like the swan was swimming in like oil or something. I just didn't like how it looked. And so I thought maybe if I switched the sky color and the watercolor, it, I thought maybe that would fix everything and I could make it like a nice night scene. And then I even changed the color for the water because it felt too bright at that point to go with like the night sky. And then I realized that the sky color now is basically the exact same color as the mountain, so that wouldn't work. And here is the final color I chose after I think painting over it 2 more times. I struggled a lot with these shades of blue. but eventually I got it to a place where I was happy, and I sealed it all with matte Mod Podge just to be a nice base protectant over all of the pieces, including the base plate. And then I decided that I wanted to add a little bit of a shiny finish only to the water pieces, or the places that are painted to be the water, just so it would have a little subtle reflective shine and to help kind of separate up the sky and the water a little bit more. I wanted to paint in some like clouds in the sky, but again, with details like that, they sometimes can get kind of covered up and just fade away because of the pieces in front of it. So I thought it would be better not to. So this was kind of my compromise with myself. It kind of gives a different texture with the sky and the water, so I felt like it helped differentiate things enough. And then here I was finally happy with the colors I had chosen. You can see I put my initials and the date on the bottom of the base plates. And once assembled, this is the final piece. I really hope you all like how it turned out. I'm overall pretty happy with how it turned out. It was a bit of a struggle, but I'm really happy and I like how it turned out. Thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you all enjoyed. Bye!